June 11, 1997. Michael Jordan walks onto the court with a 103-degree fever. His teammates think he's going to collapse. He scores 38 points and wins Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Now fast forward to 2025. LeBron James, still in the NBA, at 40 years old, scoring 30 points a night against men half his age. Two different men, two completely different philosophies. But here's what nobody tells you. Both of them built billion-dollar empires, and they built them in completely opposite ways. So forget who's the greatest basketball player of all time. The only question that matters today is this: which blueprint are you going to steal? Jordan, LeBron. We've been arguing about this for 20 years. Who has more rings? Who played in a harder era? Whose stats are cleaner? And I'm going to tell you right now, that debate is useless to you. Not because it's boring, because you're watching the wrong scoreboard. Championships are the scoreboard on the court. We're looking at the scoreboard that actually matters to your life. How did two of the greatest athletes in history build their minds, their brands, and their empires? Because here's what I discovered after breaking both men down. Jordan and LeBron represent two completely different operating systems for success. One is the predator mindset. The other is the empire blueprint. And depending on where you are right now, one of them is your path. Let's reverse engineer both. Michael Jordan didn't just want to win, he wanted to destroy you. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Scott Pippen, his teammate, his brother for 13 years, said Jordan was the only person he ever played with who genuinely scared him in practice. Not on game day, in practice. That is the predator mindset. Let's go back to that flu game for a second, because most people tell that story wrong. They say, Jordan played through sickness. What a warrior. That is not the lesson. The real lesson is what Jordan said before the game. His doctor told him not to play. His teammates said rest. Phil Jackson gave him an out. Jordan looked at all of them and said one thing: my team needs me, and the Bulls need Game 5. Not bravado, not ego, obligation. He had decided long before that fever arrived that there was no version of reality in which he didn't show up. That decision was made in advance, in cold blood, before the pressure. And that is the first principle. GOAT principle number 1: decide in advance. Champions don't make decisions under pressure. They execute decisions they already made. Now, here's where Jordan becomes a business lesson, and a massive one. Jordan is a rookie. He actually wants to sign with Adidas. Nike offers $500,000 a year, guaranteed. But here's what most people don't know. Nike wasn't planning a new shoe for Jordan. They were going to rebrand an existing model and put his name on it. Jordan said no. His agent David Falk renegotiated. Jordan demanded creative control and a royalty structure, not just a flat endorsement fee, not a paycheck, a stake. That one decision, made at 21 years old, is worth approximately $1.6 billion a year to Michael Jordan today. The predator doesn't just hunt the win today, he hunts the win 40 years from now. But here's what the predator mindset costs you, and you need to hear this. Jordan's obsession was built for one person, him. It maximizes singular peak performance. It does not scale. It does not delegate. 2 retirements, strained relationships, players who refused to play for him as an executive because the culture was suffocating. His Charlotte Hornets ownership, one of the least successful in NBA history. Because the Predator is the greatest weapon ever built. But a weapon doesn't run an army. A weapon needs a general. Remember that. We're coming back to it. Now let's talk about LeBron James.
And for the next few minutes,
I'm not going to mention basketball once. I want to talk about a phone call he made in 2015. LeBron is 30 years old, still at his absolute peak, still chasing championships. And he calls his childhood friend, Maverick Carter, and says 7 words. I don't want to be a spokesperson. I want to be an owner. That call created Spring Hill Company, today valued at over $725 million. He built it while still playing in the NBA. Jordan built his empire after basketball. LeBron built his during. That is not a small distinction. That is a completely different philosophy of time. GOAT. Principle number 2. The empire starts now. Don't wait for retirement to build your legacy. Build it in parallel with the game you're already playing. Let me give you the numbers, because they are staggering. Nike lifetime deal, estimated $1 billion plus. Spring Hill Company, $725 million valuation. Liverpool FC stake, bought in 2011 for $6.5 million. Worth over $50 million today.
Lay's Pizza, early investor,
Multiple profitable exits. Production credits on Hustle, Space Jam 2, and a full slate of projects under his company. As of 2024, LeBron James crossed $1 billion in net worth, while still on an active NBA roster. That has never happened. Not Jordan, not Kobe, not Magic, nobody. And the key to understanding how? It's not talent, it's not luck. It's the 3 laws of the Empire Blueprint. Law 1. You are not the product, you are the platform. LeBron understood early that his body had an expiration date. His name did not. So instead of being the product, which every athlete is, he became the platform that other products are built on. Spring Hill doesn't need LeBron to score 30 points. It needs his name, his network, and his vision. That's a business that scales without his knees. Law 2. Surround yourself with people who complement you, not compete with you. Jordan's inner circle was nearly impenetrable, small, closed. LeBron's inner circle is a machine. Rich Paul runs Clutch Sports, one of the most powerful agencies in the NBA today. Maverick Carter runs Spring Hill. Randy Mims handles operations. LeBron is the CEO. But he hired real executives. That's not weakness, that's architecture. GOAT. Principle number 3. Build a machine, not a monument. A monument is static. A machine keeps producing after you leave the room. Law 3. Longevity is the ultimate competitive advantage. LeBron invests approximately $1.5 million a year in his body. Personal trainers, cryotherapy, nutrition teams, sleep optimization. That is not vanity, that is a business strategy. Every additional year he plays is another year his brand stays in the cultural conversation. His longevity is a marketing budget. He figured out that staying on the court was the cheapest form of advertising money can buy. Now here's where it gets philosophically interesting, because Jordan and LeBron don't just have different mindsets,
they have beliefs that directly contradict each other.
and this is important, both of them work. The big divide: isolation versus integration. Jordan's core belief: I must become the sharpest possible version of myself, and that alone will make my team great. LeBron's core belief: I must make everyone around me better, and that will make me great. Two opposite leadership philosophies. Both resulted in championships. But here's where it gets really interesting. When LeBron went back to Cleveland in 2014, everyone called it nostalgia, loyalty, emotion. It wasn't. It was a calculated move. Return to the city that needed him most. Win a championship that should have been impossible. Create a story that Jordan, with all his greatness, could never create. The prodigal son who came home and delivered. That 2016 championship, coming back from 3-1 down, is now LeBron's single most powerful business asset. Not because of the ring, because of the story. Jordan understood dominance.
LeBron understood narrative.
And in the attention economy we live in today, narrative is the only currency that compounds forever. Stories sell. Rings sit in a case. So here's the only question that actually matters from today's breakdown. Not who is the GOAT. Which GOAT are you? Are you a predator? You thrive in singular focus. You have one skill, one vision, one target, and you want to sharpen it until nothing can stop it. You don't need a big team. You need a clear target and zero distractions. The thought of building a system sounds like an excuse to not work hard enough. If that's you, study Jordan. Study his obsession with preparation, his ability to make one non-negotiable decision and execute it with zero compromise. Jordan's blueprint? Go deep, go singular, go relentless. Or are you an empire builder? You see the bigger picture. You're not just building a career, you're building a system that outlives you. You collaborate naturally. You elevate people around you. You're already thinking about what your name is worth after the game is over. If that's you, study LeBron. Study how he built his team before he built his business. How he protected his longevity like a financial asset. How he turned every chapter of his career into a chapter of a larger, permanent story. LeBron's blueprint. Go wide, go long, go system, GOAT. Principle number 4. The wrong blueprint for your personality is a trap. Know which operating system you are, then run it at maximum capacity. The mistake most people make? They try to be both. They want Jordan's obsession and LeBron's balance. Jordan's creative control and LeBron's collaborative network. And they end up being neither. You have to choose your philosophy, not forever, but for this chapter. Right now, what is the one thing you are going all in on? If you have a clear answer, you have your blueprint. If you don't, that's not a tactics problem, that's not a strategy problem, that is a clarity problem. And clarity is the first decision every champion makes. Let me give you the GOAT formula from today's breakdown. 4 principles. Clean. 1. Decide in advance, before the pressure arrives, before the fever hits, before you're down 3-1. 2. Start building your empire now, in parallel with the game you're already playing. Today, not after. 3. Build a machine, not a monument. The machine runs when you leave the room. The monument needs you to be present. 4. Choose your operating system, predator or empire builder. Then execute it without apology. That is the formula. And if you want to go deeper, the full playbook, the case studies, the step-by-step system, I've put all 14 GOAT principles into one place. The GOAT Formula ebook is in the description. It's built for exactly this, taking what the greatest champions in history actually did and showing you how to apply it to your business and your life. Jordan and LeBron will be debated forever. And honestly, good.
Because what that debate really is,
Underneath all the noise, is a debate about what kind of greatness you believe in. The kind that cuts through everything in a single moment? Or the kind that builds something that outlasts every moment? Both men looked at the world and made the same silent decision. This is not enough. I want more. And I'm willing to become someone most people are afraid to become in order to get it. That is not a talent. That is a choice. The only question is whether you're ready to make the same one. Subscribe, because next week we go even deeper. The next breakdown is already waiting for you. Let's go.